Good morning, Enid. It is Thursday, December 28th. Welcome to our Year in Review show. I'm Steve Keim. Encourage you to grab a cup of coffee and join us as we do news, weather, and sports for the next 30 minutes. And again, it's the Year in Review. Good morning, Miss Sarah.
Good morning, Steve. Hi, I'm Sarah DeLangel. We are coming to you live in over 14,000 homes here in Enid and live streaming around the globe via the internet. This is Good Morning Enid.
And we have a special guest to my far right, Derek Silas, the bow tie guy. Derek, good morning. What time is it?
Time to rise and shine.
Out on the farm, it's wide open space, it's clear, you can see all the bright.
Oklahoma received a Real ID extension through June 2017.
We're having a cookout with the family. It's 4th of July weekend, so it's kind of a time.
You'll just want to show up at 4:30, but we do encourage you to purchase a
A ton of stuff going on here at the Central National Bank Center. Come on down.
Email us at gme@enid.org.
Hello.
Hey, Derek. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
It's Thursday again. You know what that means?
Yes, sir.
It's time to rise and shine.
I'm on my way.
Good morning, Jamara.
Good morning. I'm on my way.
Good morning, Kevin.
I'm on my way.
Kevin.
Again, thank you for joining us on our Year in Review show. It's just incredible. The three of us sat here and we just think, well, wasn't the year 12 months? No, it seemed more like how many? 6 months, Sarah? 7? And you have a little one at home, so I know the calendars are really moving.
I was going to say
for you.
6 months to you, but I feel like it's been a couple weeks, really.
Yeah, it has really gone quick. And this is show number 150, and we're just grateful for the opportunity. As Sarah said, we come into 14,000 homes. We appreciate the opportunity to spend every Thursday morning with you. And we're running out of days here in 2017. It's just incredible. Well, one of the things that we try to accomplish on the show is news, weather, and sports. And one way to do that is we have Derek Silas, our bow tie guy, joining us here front and center this morning. He does the Oklahoma Minute. Now, Derek, he's from Mississippi, and Oklahoma is a foreign country to him, but he's been here a number of years. But he provides thunder scores for us and things like that. But he also provides us some Oklahoma trivia. So, Derek, tell us about what are some things that you've learned about Oklahoma when you do an Oklahoma Minute, you know, because you enlighten us on some real nice trivia things.
I think out of the 49 Oklahoma Minutes I've done, the 5 fun facts that I liked the most that I didn't know about Oklahoma were that Gordon Matthews, a Tulsa native, is the one who created the corporate voicemail in 1970. And then the yield sign was created by Clinton Riggs, also from Tulsa. He created the yield sign. And then the shopping cart. Sylvan Goldman, the owner of the Humpty Dumpty supermarket chain in Oklahoma City, created the folding basket in 1937. And the Black Mario, what we call the parking meter, was also created in Oklahoma City in 1935 by 2 engineering professors from Oklahoma A&M at that time.
Wow.
And the other one is not an invention, but fun facts that Oklahoma was the 4th in nation in wheat, the 6th in peanuts, the 5th in pecans, 8th in peaches, and 4th in cattle.
Did you say pecans?
Yeah.
Pecans,
Some people say pecans. Yes. So those were the fun facts, and I think that's mostly the part I liked about the Oklahoma Minute.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. Again, one of our goals is a quick 30 minutes, but we want the show to be informative. Besides the current temperature, we want you to be able to walk away with some fun facts about Oklahoma. And being born and raised, I've lived in Oklahoma most of my life. But again, Derek shared some trivia things. I go, oh, I forgot about that, or I didn't know that. Now, Sarah, you're from California, kind of, sort of, moving this way. So I imagine everything was pretty new to you on the trivia part.
Right.
And so when Derek has the news and the trivia, what does that help you in your so-called understanding of why we do what we do?
Yes, definitely. I learned a lot with Derek, but believe it or not, I also learned a lot when you share the forecast, because you always share a different part of Oklahoma, different cities from Oklahoma. So I almost feel like it gives me a better understanding of what Oklahoma offers. You always share a little bit about each city that you talk about when you're sharing the forecast. So it's...
Well, And again, we're trying to be informative, and when Penn puts together that state map, people do travel. They leave Enid and say, okay, we're going to go down to Oklahoma City today, or even farther in the south part of the state. I think it's helpful for them to know where the temperature is going to be for that particular day. Right. So anyway, we're just trying to be informative when we do that. I think one of the fun things that Sarah and I get to do is the school menus. So when school's in session, we have typically the Thursday and Friday menu. And when I see the menu, I'm thinking, bless those kids' hearts. That's what they face today. But you're tough, Sarah. You do the menus for us. And so, again, that's just another piece that we try to inform people on. So why do you know the 3-day forecast? We always turn to you and say, Sarah, what's the 3-day forecast look like?
Well, I have a little one, so I like to be ready for the weekend. So many things going on, and the weather is always very important. It plays a key role on what we're going to do during the weekend. So it's always important to share it.
Yeah, very good. Well, again, we appreciate you joining us on this Thursday, December 28th, our year in review show here on Good Morning Enid. Derek, I'd like to ask you, we do a live show and we just kind of show up and do it, if you will. But in your Oklahoma Minute and other things that you're involved in on the show, you got to do research, you got to do preparation. You just don't show up on Thursday at 7:30, off you go. Tell us kind of some of the steps or some of the things that you're involved in preparing your segment for the show.
Well, I check a lot, maybe about from 5 to 10 news outlets in the state, whether it be TV or newspapers. Then I'll research with a lot of history channels, like the History Channel, or any other history type websites that can offer me information about anything that has to do with Oklahoma. And so, sometimes it's a long week, whereas there's a lot of research. Sometimes it doesn't take very long. So. Yeah.
And sometimes we have a true understanding of what a slow news days mean, because when there's not any news, you can't make it up. Well, one of Sarah's favorite segments is when she brings up her cows, the Holsteins, right? The Holsteins.
Cows,
and
yes.
We always enjoy photos, pictures that you send throughout the year, and it's really an opportunity. What's that address, Sarah, by the way?
It's gme@enid.org.
Right.
Yes.
So if you have photos, Sarah recently shared photos from a trip she had recently in Mexico. Derek was Jamaica someplace. I mean, we have pictures of Christmas trees. We've got AJ gives us updates on cows and cats and
raccoons.
Yeah, raccoons. Yeah, we had raccoons show up one time. So anyway, we always want to share those photos, and gme@enid.org is to do that. Well, when we do the entertainment segment, we count on Brooke and Kevin to help us out. What do you enjoy about those segments? It's called Enid Entertainment. Sarah, we'll start with you.
Right. Like I said, I have a little one, so I definitely enjoy knowing what's coming and planning for it. This year, I didn't get to do too many events, but I got to take my little one to the circus in Sesame Street, and I really, really enjoyed it. And being on the show and being able to hear from Kevin and Brooke allows me to plan for that. So it's really great.
There was one event that was shared with us that Derek and I got to go to. It was when Bill Gaither came to the event center and was in a concert. We had, I think, a city council meeting that night, but we were able to go over there. Derek, tell us about your experience of meeting singer, songwriter, Grammy Award winner. I mean, the guy's done it all. He's written hymns, Bill Gaither. So what was that experience like?
It was a good experience. He's very personable. Yeah. He was very nice. And not only that, we also, remember we saw the horses, the Royal Gala horses. So we get a chance to kind of see the behind the scenes a lot, and I like that part. And as she was saying, it kind of keeps you in the loop of things so you can prepare if you want to go to a concert or anything. So pretty neat.
One of the things I remember about meeting Bill Gaither is that he was standing there with a Diet Coke or something, and he just told us, sit down at the table and visit. He was just so personable. So, well, we've asked Brooke and we've asked Kevin Brisky at the Central National Bank Event Center to put together kind of a year in review video on some of the highlights, and let's watch that right now.
Ton of stuff going on here at the Central National Bank Center. Come on down, see us, and get some tickets for any of these great events. Welcome inside the Central National Bank Center. Brooke Bodie, Kevin Brisky here. Just kind of giving a recap of 2017, a great year that it's been, and what's to come in 2018. It's tough to think that only about a year ago we had a bull riding here, dirt in the building, to kick off our 2017 season with championship bull riding. A fun event, but seems like such a long time ago.
Well, if you missed it last year, it's coming back here on January 6th in 2018 to kick off the new year.
And we had, after bull riding, a little high school basketball, but, Gaither Vocal Band was here, and I know Steve had a chance to sit down with Bill Gaither. One of Bill Gaither's counterparts, Mark Lowry, was here as well. We had Newsboys, so a lot of great Christian concerts here at the Central National Bank Center in 2017.
Yes, that's a big draw right here to the CNB Center, and I know that we actually just announced not long ago that Casting Crowns will be returning here on April 5th. So tickets just went on sale, so get your tickets. You don't want to miss seeing Casting Crowns, because just like 2017, we had so many Christian concerts, and we're looking forward to a great 2018 as well.
I know last April, one of your favorite shows, Justin Moore, Lee Bryce, Brett Young, great country concert here. We also had in the month of April, Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy. So it was a really exciting April for everything we had here at the CNB Center.
It was, and you're right, that was one of my favorites. Hopefully we'll have another country concert in 2018. I'm sure we probably will. And speaking of Jeff Foxworthy, Ron White will be here, so another comedy show right here, May 18th. You don't want to miss that event.
So we have now 3 of the blue collar comedy tour guys, and Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy, and then Ron White coming up. And it was an exciting summer here too. A lot of times buildings go a little quiet in the summer, but we had Dancing with the Stars in July, Oak Ridge Boys in August, and then the fun continued over into the fall here.
Yes, over the fall we had so many different events with, like you said, Larry the Cable Guy, and then just this December alone, we've had 3 amazing events: Sesame Street Live, and then Mannheim Steamroller Christmas, and also Mark Lowry. So we also finished out the year with the Junior Welfare League Gala. Another banquet that we had right here on the arena floor was the Air Force Ball. So not only did we have several events and banquets and fundraisers here in the arena, but also in the convention center with conventions too.
It was a really busy year for us. Over 300 events we had in this facility. Well, both facilities are the Central National Bank Center combined. And it's crazy that 2018, I think we're even going to have more, which is crazy to think of, because I know how worn down you and I have both been, through this year with all the great events. But it's really rewarding, I know, for both of us, just kind of seeing how excited people are having their events here, how excited when they leave, and how happy they are with their experience here. So it's a lot of fun, and I mean, there's some that we didn't even have a chance to touch on. REO Speedwagon, Rodney Carrington, Travis Tritt, Price is Right. I mean, it's amazing here in Enid, Oklahoma, how many great things happen in this Central National Bank Center. So we're really excited about it.
Yes, 2017 was great. We're looking forward to a great 2018 as well.
And stay tuned, a lot more announcements to come. Catch them all right here on Good Morning Enid. Until then, we'll send it back into the studio with Steve.
Welcome back. Good Morning Enid. Here we are on our Thursday, December 28th. Thank you for joining us today on our Year in Review show. Hope you enjoyed that segment by Brooke and also Kevin. It's amazing all the entertainment that's coming to Enid, Oklahoma. Well, as you know, there's a segment we call At the Round Table, where we have a special guest come and join us at the round table. And Sarah, let's start with you. We had 50-some guests, I think, through the year. And can you kind of focus in on 2 or 3 of your favorite guests or shows? I know there's one that comes to mind, but was there some of your favorites that you can share with us?
Right.
Topics?
I had a lot of favorites, Crime Stoppers, Alzheimer's. I really loved it when you brought someone in to talk about the cold, how to face cold symptoms, how to take care of yourself to prevent getting the cold or a flu. I really like all that because I feel like you focus on bringing in topics that are current with what's going on.
Sure.
And they're just so educational. But my favorite one will definitely have to be the sexual assault awareness. I love the seriousness of that topic. And how you always make sure that at the end of every show you offer some form of contact information where we can reach out if anyone needs help and contact.
I'm trying to recall, that was the show with District Attorney Mike Fields.
Correct.
So, well, again, Sarah's, I guess, #1 show for the year here in 2017 was a sexual assault awareness interview with Mike Fields. Let's look at a portion of that interview right now.
Now, Mike, who are typically the victims of sexual assault? Can you clarify that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Victims of sexual assault are all of us. I mean, they're all around us all the time. People that you would maybe never imagine been the victims of sexual assault. No respecter of persons, no respecter of socioeconomic status. But statistically, we know that 95% of sexual assault victims are women, and about half of that 95% are under the age of 18.
Oh my.
Wow.
Wow. Well, a lot of these topics, or a lot of the questions that we prepared today, are I would just classify as on the sensitive side, if you will, and not to be judgmental or anything. But my next question talks a little bit about the offenders. Is there a profile? Is there? Well, I guess that is the question. Is there a profile of these offenders?
I don't know that we can say that there's a
And
profile.
I'm sorry, that may be the wrong word.
No, I think I know. I think I know what you mean. There may not be a profile in the sense of we can define it clearly, but there certainly is a profile in the sense that we know that the overwhelming majority of perpetrators are people that have a close relationship to the people that they victimize. So in other words, we like to, sometimes we think that sexual assault occurs in the dark alley with a total stranger, and certainly that does happen sometimes, but by and large, the overwhelming majority are committed by people that they know, 2/3 in fact.
And has that been the case basically since records have been kept?
It has.
Okay.
It has. And if
Okay.
you think about it, it makes sense because to perpetrate on somebody, it needs to be someone that's in a position of authority, position of influence, somebody that we're close with, that sort of thing.
Maybe trust?
Absolutely.
Something
It's a
like
big
that.
one.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. And Mike, we know that victims of sexual assault, they go through a tremendous trauma, and that has an impact on their lives. Some of them have considered suicide. But what are the effects of sexual violence that you've seen or are more familiar with?
Absolutely, wide-ranging effects. Sexual assault is a crime that leaves scars that last a lifetime, and it's scars that we can't see on the outside because they're psychological, emotional. It's that feeling of never quite getting your peace of mind back, always being fearful, always being afraid, those sorts of things. Like I said, scars that last a lifetime.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Our special guest at the round table is District Attorney Mike Fields. Mike, you mentioned that 95% of those that have been the result of assault, 95% were women. And then I guess you said half of that were people under 18 or whatever. So what can a person do to kind of lower the risk of this? Of sexual violence?
There are several things that you can do that are just kind of commonsensical. In other words, if you're going to go out, then it's better to go out with a group. Arrive together, leave together. Never leave your drinks unattended in a public place because we know that drug-facilitated sexual assault has become a huge problem all across our nation.
And we certainly appreciate all of our guests that come get up very early on Thursday morning and join us at the round table. Derek, same question to you, and we've kind of discussed this. You really had some difficulty in finalizing your #1 topic. What were some of the shows through the year that really spoke to your heart?
I think all of the ones that were causes, like Alzheimer's, those types of shows were the ones that I really like, breast cancer awareness. But my favorite, I feel, was the one with autism. It was Chris Chaston. He was talking about his son, Tripp, who was autistic. In the beginning, they didn't know that, and then when he came to the realization, they went out to get help. And he just talks about his experiences, and he gave some good tips for parents who may be going through the same thing.
Okay.
So it spoke to me.
Majority of our interviews lasted, say, 10 to 12 minutes, but we've been able to pull away a few minutes of that interview that Derek is referring to. And this was our At the Round Table with Autism Awareness.
Now, for many of our viewers out there, you know, some people still may not know what autism is. Can you give us a brief synopsis of what that is?
It has to be brief because I could talk forever on. But it's basically a brain development disorder that affects hundreds of thousands of people every year. It affects their social abilities, their communication, and it's something that we've got to get a hold of.
Okay.
You know.
So you're a parent of an autistic child, correct?
I am, yes.
And his name is Trip?
Trip.
Okay. Now, what signs and behaviors did you notice in Trip, and how old was he when he was, when you saw the disorder? Or the...
Well, we really started noticing it when we started missing milestones.
Okay.
Short, you know, early on, 6, 8 months. Then there was really no communication. There was no playing with toys correctly. He would rather watch cartoons all day long than play with his toys. And we knew something was wrong, and so that's when we started really trying to focus in on what it was, because we didn't know what it was at the time. We didn't know where he was at, but we knew that we needed to seek some help and seek some medical advice.
Now, Chris, did your doctor recommend it for you to maybe have him tested? How old was he when he finally, you know, got to see that first doctor that maybe said, hey, I think we can make a diagnostic explanation for this? Or
Well, when we started noticing the missed milestones and noticing that there was something a little off, that's when we started seeking medical advice, medical help. We were in and out of different
doctors
and specialists, and we finally got a diagnosis when he was 4 years old of autism.
Okay.
And so, you know, that was, all right, let's giddy up. This is where we're going.
And I would say that that's actually early, and it's a good thing because I've heard also that some people get diagnosed when they're in 3rd grade, 4th grade, because that's when some of the signs become more visible, perhaps.
Right. Right. Well, he has a sensory processing disorder as well, and so that led to probably more of us intervening earlier than normal because of, you know, the sensitivity to sounds and just, I mean, look at Walmart. I get overloaded at Walmart.
Oh yes,
So.
I think we all do.
As you can see, these have been tremendous topics. And again, the whole idea of one of our themes for the early morning show on Thursday is really to highlight causes, to maybe educate ourselves on some of the diseases that are out there or things that we can do. I think in my case, I think I had 50 favorites, but again, I focused on Feed the Neighborhood. I was just amazed at the impact that they place with all the backpacks and just all the toothbrushes, toothpaste, and everything that they do every August in helping kids get back into the groove and go back to school. And I believe the young lady's name was Brittany. That was our special guest. Hope I have that right. But anyway, this is a segment on Feed the Neighborhood.
Like you said, it started about 17 years ago. So I was pretty young when the first one started, but I was there.
You were 2,
and
3?
No, close, but no. But I was pretty young, and my dad started a church down here called World Harvest, and so we wanted to get out in the community, and so we said, let's just throw a big event, have some food, have some games for the kids, and so we did that 17 years ago in August, and we had an option where when the kids played a game, they could choose between school supplies, which we thought was ridiculous. No kid's going to choose school supplies or candy. And almost every child that won a game chose school supplies over candy. And our minds were blown, and we realized there is a deep need here in this community for school supplies because a lot of families can't afford it. It's very expensive. So that's kind of how it began, and we've done it every year since then. So
Very good.
That's awesome. Where will this year's event take place?
So for the past 15 years, we've had it at Government Springs Park. But last year, we moved it to Central National Bank Center in David Allen because, like you guys were just talking about, it is hot during this time. And so we got to, actually, Central National Bank Center came on as an executive sponsor, as did David Allen Ballpark. So they've given us our facilities for free to use for the community. So that's where it's going to be this year.
So you actually are inside?
Yeah, so
Is
the
that
backpack
okay.
giveaways inside,
Okay.
yes.
So last year, Brittany, as I was looking at trying to do the research or preparation for our visit this morning, I think one of the numbers that I saw on your website was 1,500 backpacks.
Yes.
And it probably went like that, right?
Yes.
So what's the goal for this year? Does it keep going up, or
Yeah.
I guess the need, does
Yeah.
it keep going up?
Absolutely, and one thing that we saw last year is it was the first year that all 1,500 was given away at the event. We usually pass them out a little bit after to maybe some teachers that need it, but all of them were gone, completely gone last year, and so we had still tons of kids that didn't get backpacks. So this year we said, you know what, we're going to set a goal. Every child that comes, hopefully, will get a backpack. So we're doing 2,000 this year. It's our first time to do 2,000, so.
Such a great event.
Yeah.
I know that you were talking about school supplies, and Steve mentioned backpacks.
Yeah.
Other than backpacks and school supplies, what else do the kids get?
Yeah. So they'll go through the line and they'll get their backpack, and it's filled with basic school supplies. But they also get a voucher. So it's a sock and shoe and underwear voucher to Walmart. So we do a $10 voucher for shoe and then an $8 sock and underwear. So they can immediately go to Walmart, redeem that for those items. And so we do that. And then we also do free immunizations for the insured and uninsured at the event. So the kids that need their school shots but haven't been able to afford it or haven't been able to get them yet, we do that. We do free haircuts for everybody. And then we wanted to make it a big family event, not just for the kids. So we have inflatables for the young children. We have bike giveaways where we give out over 30 bikes. We do food. We do item giveaways, all this stuff. It's a lot that goes on, but it's fun for the whole family.
Again, thank you for joining us on our Year in Review show on this Thursday, December 28th. And we certainly want to wish everybody the best, a safe holiday in 2018. I just can't believe 2018. That sounds like such a high number. Well, speaking of the new year, we want to share with you some holiday or New Year closings, I should say. The City of Enid administration offices, golf course, landfill, the list goes on. As you see, that will be closed on Monday, New Year's Day. It's a big day for the Sooners. They'll be playing football in the Rose Bowl, so go Sooners. We want them to win as they take on the Georgia Bulldogs. But those are the holiday closings. And if you're able to stay till 8 o'clock this morning, I had the privilege to sit down with Pat Stevenson and also LaFay Austin. They are two of several members of the Martin Luther King Commission here in Enid, Oklahoma, have such a heart for the community, and it was a real honor for me to visit with LaFay and also Pat. That's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning if you can join us. I think we're all in agreement that the pet segment, Adopt a Pet segment, was fun.
Yes.
But it also spoke to our hearts.
Yes.
Because we'd see a pet come in going, oh, it can't be in a cage. It needs to be. So I know that you have some numbers of some pet adoptions. What are those numbers?
Yes, we've had some beautiful, great dogs come into the show, and 320 dogs actually have been adopted in 2017.
And it looks like they adopted 173 cats, thanks to the show.
Who do we have here today?
Steve, this is Jack.
I just want to say for the last 49 shows we've had this year, I want to thank you personally for joining us every morning. And I want to say have a great year. That's 2018.
I just want to say thank you for joining us this morning. This is our 150th show, and we are glad that you can join us. I also want to take the time to wish you a Happy New Year and hope that you can join us again 2018.
Very good. Good morning, Enid. It is a real honor for us to come into your homes every Thursday morning. We sincerely appreciate that opportunity. And on behalf of A.J. Wells and Dane Tate and Penn Klein that do all the work behind the scenes, I'm Steve Keim, and we just wish you the very best in 2018. Good morning, Enid.